Welcome to District Command Central, your go-to source for the latest news and updates on the Washington Commanders. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a play. Dan Quinn confirmed what Commanders fans had feared, putting an end to weeks of speculation surrounding running back Brian Robinson Jr. The veteran head coach's remarks, delivered in a calm yet firm tone during a midweek press conference, left no room for ambiguity. Robinson's role with the Washington Commanders is effectively over. For months, the player had been caught in the middle of Adam Peters' aggressive roster maneuvers, which have already resulted in multiple high-profile changes and surprise moves throughout the offseason. While Robinson was initially projected to anchor the Commanders' backfield in 2025, the combination of new draft acquisitions, emerging talents, and a front office unwilling to wait has left him sidelined. Fans who followed his career trajectory knew that his hold on the starting position was tenuous at best, but seeing it confirmed officially carries a different weight. The Alabama product, once a third-round pick with promising potential, now faces the reality of seeking a fresh start elsewhere in a league that values explosiveness and durability above consistency alone, creating a complex situation for both him and the Commanders' long-term plans. The latest development comes after a series of moves that, to an outsider, might seem abrupt, but fit a pattern that has characterized Adam Peters' tenure as the team's strategic mastermind. From trading high-profile starters to cutting veterans who seemed untouchable, Peters has repeatedly shown a willingness to make aggressive roster decisions, sometimes to the surprise and frustration of fans. Robinson's demotion was no exception. Initially, he had received glowing endorsements from offensive coordinator Cliff Kingsbury, who praised his renewed focus and work ethic, suggesting a central role in the offense. Meanwhile, Peters hinted at the potential for a reinforced offensive line to pave the way for Robinson's success, fueling optimism among supporters. However, optimism alone cannot dictate NFL roster choices. As Quinn emphasized during practice updates, Robinson has been excused from team activities, and while updates are expected soon, the message was clear. The organization is moving forward without him. This sends a strong signal to both the player and the fan base that Washington is pursuing a new direction, one that doesn't include the running back they had long relied on. For Robinson, the fallout has been swift, with trade rumors swirling even before Quinn's confirmation. The Commanders reportedly gauged league interest in acquiring the third-round pick, reflecting a pragmatic approach by the front office that prioritizes flexibility and asset management. Missing the preseason contest against the Cincinnati Bengals on Monday Night Football further underscored the changing dynamic, as fans were left watching from the sidelines while the organization assessed its options. The absence of Robinson in such a high-profile matchup sent a message not just about his current status, but also about the future trajectory of the team. Washington's coaching staff, led by Quinn, made clear that the decision was not punitive but strategic, emphasizing that other talents were stepping into prominent roles. This reinforces the idea that Peters' philosophy revolves around readiness to pivot quickly, a trait that has defined his tenure and will continue to influence the team's operational decisions throughout the season. Wednesday's practice became a focal point for speculation, drawing media attention and fan scrutiny alike. Observers wanted to see if Robinson would make an appearance or signal a potential reconciliation with the team. Instead, Quinn's decisive remarks removed any lingering uncertainty, confirming that Robinson was excused and reinforcing the notion that his future in Washington is limited. This announcement also highlights a shift in team priorities, signaling that emerging talents and previously less heralded players are now the focus of the Commanders' strategic planning. Ja'Cory Cross-Gammeret, a seventh-round rookie, along with the revitalized Chris Rodriguez Jr., are being positioned as viable alternatives, creating a backfield dynamic that emphasizes potential over established performance. The decision to move forward without Robinson demonstrates a philosophy that rewards adaptability and long-term planning, even when it requires difficult choices that challenge fan expectations and previous commitments. The implications of Robinson's exit extend beyond roster logistics, touching on salary cap management and the team's broader operational philosophy. At over $3.4 million in base salary, Robinson's contract represented a significant investment, one that the organization is now willing to reallocate toward other needs. The market for power backs like Robinson still exists, particularly for teams seeking physicality and durability, but the question remains whether another franchise will assume his contract. If no trade materializes, the Commanders appear prepared to release him outright, a move that would free up resources but also signal a definitive end to a chapter in the franchise's recent history. For Robinson, this presents both a challenge and an opportunity, a chance to find a fresh start elsewhere, while also contending with the realities of a highly competitive market where team fit and contract considerations are just as critical as on-field ability. Reflecting on his time in Washington, Robinson's journey exemplifies the highs and lows of NFL careers, particularly for mid-round draft picks. Overcoming early setbacks, he became an important contributor, earning recognition for his resilience and work ethic. Yet, in the context of Peters' aggressive approach, being important and consistent was insufficient to secure a long-term position. The lack of explosive plays ultimately dictated the decision, reinforcing a broader narrative in the league where production and potential often outweigh loyalty or experience. The Commanders' decision underscores the unforgiving nature of professional football, where even proven contributors can quickly fall out of favor. For fans, this moment is bittersweet. It highlights Robinson's dedication and achievements while also emphasizing the relentless pressure to adapt, improve, and compete in a league that seldom allows for complacency. The emergence of alternatives like Krosky and Rodriguez Jr. introduces new variables to the Commanders' offensive strategy. Both players bring unique skill sets, but their relative inexperience poses questions about consistency in high-pressure situations. In contrast, Robinson offered a known quantity, with the ability to contribute in multiple scenarios. Balancing these factors represents a delicate challenge for Quinn and his staff. Veteran presences like Austin Ekeler and Jeremy McNichols provide stability, yet the gamble on younger talent reflects a broader willingness to embrace risk for potential reward. This strategy demonstrates a forward-looking approach that prioritizes depth and versatility, even at the expense of short-term certainty. The Commanders' fanbase, accustomed to fluctuations in roster decisions, is witnessing another example of how Peters' vision shapes team operations in real time, blending ambition with strategic risk management in pursuit of long-term competitiveness. From a broader perspective, Robinson's departure serves as a case study in the evolution of team-building philosophies in the modern NFL. Gone are the days when single-player loyalty guaranteed job security. Today, decisions are driven by analytics, performance projections, and salary cap considerations. Peters embodies this mindset, using Robinson's situation to signal that no player is indispensable. The emphasis on adaptability, willingness to pivot, and readiness to leverage assets reflects an organizational culture designed to optimize outcomes, even if it creates short-term disruption. For players like Robinson, it's a stark reminder of the transactional nature of professional sports, where individual contribution must constantly align with team strategy. The Commanders' front office, under Peters, is demonstrating that calculated risk-taking, while sometimes unpopular, is central to shaping a competitive roster capable of sustained success. Fans who have followed Robinson's career are likely to experience a mix of disappointment and understanding. His departure is not a reflection of character or effort, but a strategic choice reflecting broader organizational priorities. By excusing him from practice and signaling openness to trade or release, the Commanders are effectively closing a chapter while preparing to explore new options. This decision also invites reflection on the broader NFL ecosystem, where the life cycle of players is increasingly dictated by performance metrics, team fit, and financial considerations. While Robinson's physicality and dedication were undeniable, the combination of emerging talent and Peters' willingness to act decisively made his continued presence untenable. This underscores a broader trend in professional football, where agility, versatility, and readiness to embrace change define the modern player experience. Robinson now faces a career crossroads, navigating a landscape filled with both uncertainty and opportunity. Teams across the league will evaluate his skill set, weighing durability, power running ability, and experience against financial implications and roster fit. While the Commanders move forward without him, the market may provide a suitable destination where his talents can be leveraged effectively. The outcome remains uncertain, but the underlying narrative is clear. Robinson's NFL journey is far from over, even if his time in Washington has concluded. His situation highlights the transient nature of professional sports careers, reminding fans and players alike that adaptation and resilience are as vital as talent and dedication. This next chapter will test his ability to reinvent himself, embrace new challenges, and secure a role that allows him to continue contributing at the highest level. Ultimately, the Robinson saga reflects the interplay between talent, strategy, and organizational philosophy in the NFL. His tenure with the Commanders, while marked by moments of promise and notable contributions, could not withstand the realities of a rapidly evolving roster strategy. Peter's decisive approach, coupled with Quinn's measured reinforcement, underscores the importance of adaptability for both players and fans observing the unfolding dynamics. Robinson gave everything to the cause, embodying the perseverance and grit that define professional athletes. Yet in the eyes of management, decent simply wasn't sufficient. His departure provides lessons on the balancing act between individual performance and organizational goals, emphasizing that professional football is as much about strategy and timing as it is about talent. In the end, the Commanders are moving forward with a vision that prioritizes potential, risk-taking, and adaptability, leaving Robinson to pursue the next phase of his career elsewhere in the league. This moment, while difficult, encapsulates the essence of professional sports. Achievement and effort are necessary, but never guarantees of permanence. Robinson's exit is emblematic of the relentless drive for optimization that defines modern NFL management. As fans digest the implications, attention will shift to how Krosky-Merritt, Rodriguez Jr., and other emerging options perform under pressure. Meanwhile, Robinson's next opportunity will test his resilience, skill, and ability to adapt to a new system, teammates, and expectations. His story serves as a poignant reminder that professional football is both a platform for opportunity and a crucible for proving one's value. While his time in Washington concludes, the narrative of perseverance, potential, and adaptation continues, illustrating the unforgiving yet exhilarating nature of the sport, and leaving fans to speculate on the impact this transition will have on both the Commanders' season and Robinson's career trajectory. If you're enjoying the coverage, make sure to smash that like button and drop a comment with your thoughts on the Commanders' latest moves. We want to hear from you. In a development that has sent shockwaves across the NFL world, Dan Quinn, the head coach of the Washington Commanders, reportedly lost his composure in a heated sideline confrontation, allegedly demanding the exit of one of his players from the team. Sources close to the organization described the scene as tense and chaotic, with coaching staff scrambling to maintain order while players appeared visibly shaken. The incident, which reportedly occurred during a practice session earlier this week, has sparked a flurry of speculation and debate across social media platforms, sports talk shows, and fan forums alike. While the exact details of what triggered Quinn's outburst remain unclear, insiders suggest that frustration with the team's performance and internal disagreements may have reached a boiling point. Fans are now questioning not only the stability of the locker room, but also Quinn's leadership style, as whispers of discord grow louder with every passing day. Observers argue that moments like this can define a coach's tenure, either by galvanizing the team or creating divisions that could haunt the season. With the Commanders already under scrutiny for inconsistent results, the timing of such an explosive display has only added fuel to the rumors, raising concerns about potential long-term ramifications. Analysts are pointing to Quinn's history as a demanding coach who prioritizes discipline, yet even they acknowledge that this incident seems to have crossed conventional boundaries. The identity of the player in question remains shrouded in mystery, fueling a guessing game among fans, journalists, and pundits alike. Some insiders hint at a veteran whose relationship with Quinn has been fraught with tension for months, while others speculate it could involve a younger talent whose recent mistakes may have tested the coach's patience. The NFL community, known for its relentless appetite for drama, has seized upon every snippet of information, dissecting body language, cryptic statements, and leaked remarks to build a narrative that is part fact, part speculation, and entirely captivating. This unfolding story is shaping up to dominate headlines and water-cooler conversations, raising profound questions about accountability, team dynamics, and the pressures that accompany high-stakes professional sports. Whispers around team headquarters suggest that Quinn's anger may have been more than a fleeting lapse of judgment. According to sources who requested anonymity, the confrontation was reportedly preceded by a series of disagreements regarding practice strategies, player effort, and communication breakdowns between coaching staff and key athletes. Some reports indicate that Quinn had grown increasingly frustrated over perceived lack of commitment from certain players, feeling that his vision for the team's performance was being undermined. Teammates who witnessed the altercation have remained tight-lipped publicly, but inside sources describe an atmosphere thick with tension and unease. Fans, meanwhile, are dissecting every past interview, press conference, and sideline reaction to trace patterns that might have predicted such an outburst. Sports commentators are weighing in, with some suggesting that this could signal a critical turning point for Quinn's leadership, while others argue that fiery tempers are part and parcel of high-level competition and may even motivate the squad. Amid these swirling narratives, speculation about which player was the focal point of Quinn's ire continues unabated, with rumors pointing in multiple directions. Veteran players are said to be advising caution, warning younger teammates to avoid unnecessary confrontation, while some members of the front office reportedly worry about the potential fallout on team morale and public perception. Analysts are also debating how this incident may influence upcoming games, especially considering the high-pressure environment of the NFL, where a single misstep can drastically shift momentum. The incident has undoubtedly become a lightning rod, drawing attention from casual fans, diehard followers, and media outlets eager for exclusive insights. As the story develops, everyone is left wondering whether this confrontation will be remembered as a moment of decisive leadership or a cautionary tale of unchecked temper and its consequences within professional sports. Insiders hint that the internal struggle between Dan Quinn and the mysterious player may have deeper roots than just a single practice mishap. According to sources familiar with the locker room dynamics, the friction may stem from ongoing debates over leadership roles, playing time, and responsibility distribution within the squad. Quinn, known for his meticulous approach and high expectations, reportedly feels that some individuals are not aligning with his vision, a sentiment that may have finally erupted into a public display of frustration. Observers note that while coaches often express disappointment, the intensity and vehemence of Quinn's reaction seem unusually severe, prompting questions about whether this marks a temporary lapse or a fundamental shift in his approach. Fans, who are notoriously adept at spotting subtle signs of discord, have taken to social media platforms, dissecting everything from sideline gestures to post-practice interviews, constructing their own theories about the causes and implications of the confrontation. Some analysts speculate that the incident may prompt the Commanders' front office to mediate directly, potentially reshuffling responsibilities, addressing communication breakdowns, or even considering roster adjustments to restore harmony. Meanwhile, rumors about the player's identity continue to circulate, ranging from established stars to promising newcomers, each scenario generating distinct narratives and dramatic possibilities. The speculation has intensified discussions about team chemistry, accountability, and the delicate balance between authority and empathy in high-pressure sports environments. Sports psychologists weighing in suggest that such clashes, while disruptive, may serve as inflection points, highlighting the tension between maintaining discipline and fostering collaboration. The incident is rapidly becoming more than a single event. It is evolving into a symbol of the pressures, personalities, and unpredictable dynamics that define the modern NFL landscape, captivating audiences and insiders alike. Sources suggest that the scene that unfolded during practice was more than a typical coaching confrontation. Witnesses describe a tense standoff where Quinn's voice reportedly echoed across the field, commanding attention and drawing the eyes of everyone present. The player at the center of the outburst, while unnamed, is said to have responded defensively, adding fuel to a fire that insiders claim had been smoldering for weeks. Coaching assistants reportedly struggled to regain control, attempting to mediate and calm both sides while ensuring that practice continued without further incident. Observers note that the incident has already triggered ripples beyond the locker room, as social media users speculate endlessly, posting reactions, memes, and video analyses that dissect every angle. Some commentators argue that Quinn's reaction may be a calculated demonstration of authority, intended to send a message to the entire team about standards and accountability, while others perceive it as an unguarded moment of frustration that could undermine team cohesion. The Commanders' management is reportedly monitoring the situation closely, assessing both immediate fallout and potential long-term impacts, with some suggesting internal meetings are underway to strategize a path forward. Fans, meanwhile, remain captivated by the unfolding drama, sharing theories and debating the potential consequences of Quinn's actions, from roster shakeups to shifts in coaching strategy. Analysts emphasize that while high-emotion incidents are not uncommon in professional sports, the combination of Quinn's public stature and the uncertainty surrounding the player involved makes this episode particularly newsworthy. The narrative continues to evolve, with each new whisper adding layers of intrigue and speculation, ensuring that attention remains firmly fixed on the Commanders' internal affairs and the simmering tension that may shape the remainder of the season. This incident, whether a turning point or a cautionary tale, highlights the fragile equilibrium of professional sports teams, where passion, pressure, and personalities collide in dramatic, sometimes unpredictable ways. The ripple effects of Dan Quinn's explosive sideline moment appear to extend beyond the immediate players and coaching staff, according to multiple sources within the organization. Rumors circulating suggest that assistant coaches and team veterans are now engaged in private discussions aimed at stabilizing morale and mitigating any potential disruption to the team's preparation and focus. Reports indicate that Quinn's fiery display may have prompted internal debates about leadership styles, communication strategies, and disciplinary protocols, with the front office potentially weighing in to prevent further incidents. Fans and media outlets have seized upon these whispers, dissecting every tweet, post-practice comment, and cryptic headline in an effort to piece together the evolving story. Social media chatter is rife with speculation, ranging from theories about which player was the target of Quinn's ire to analyses of how this may affect upcoming matchups. Some commentators posit that this event could serve as a catalyst, either galvanizing the squad under Quinn's demanding leadership or exposing fractures that threaten cohesion. Analysts have noted that such incidents, while dramatic, are often part of the high-stakes NFL environment, where the interplay between authority and temperament can dictate outcomes. Meanwhile, insiders stress the importance of context, noting that Quinn's history of intensity and high expectations has earned respect, even if moments like this challenge conventional notions of sideline decorum. Fans are bracing for potential statements from the team, the coach, or the player, knowing that official word could either clarify or further complicate the narrative. The speculation surrounding this episode continues to grow, with every new whisper adding fuel to a fire that refuses to subside, keeping attention squarely on the Commanders' internal dynamics and the high-pressure world that surrounds professional football. Thanks for tuning into District Command Central. Make sure to subscribe and follow us for all the Commanders news you need. Until next time, keep the faith and hail to the Commanders.